Okay. It's 11:27. It's almost midnight, which means it's almost time for the first day of NaNoWriMo to end. So this is something different than what I've usually got up on the channel. I'm gonna be documenting my progress for NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. This year I've been kind of distracted dealing with other things, pandemic aside, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. This is new. This is like the first time I've logged into the website at all, leading up to this month, and I'm kind of surprised that they kept my project from last year up here. And yeah, ignore these. I'm surprised they didn't fix this. I hope they fixed it for this year. This was by mistake. I didn't actually finish. And I don't know if I made that much progress since I actually did it, but I would like to think I did. But yeah, I didn't want to do this project again this year because I like I can't keep pushing myself to finish it when I know I'm not in the right position to try and finish it. But hopefully my project plan for this year is going to pan out. So I think, can I just mark this as finished? This new project. Okay. I'm calling this the project relay. Basically, what this is oh, there's project statuses. Okay. So basically what this is instead of the one project, I'm going to be working on several, because I find that I use Nano really to address what my issues are regarding writing. Like, what habits do I need to break? What habits do I need to improve? Because the whole concept of the challenge is really 50,000 words for 30 days. And originally it was described as writing a novel in 1 month. And 50,000 is your average length for a novel, give or take, whatever kind of genre it fits in. Like longer if it's fantasy or science fiction, shorter if it's, not. And anything shorter than 50,000 is essentially a novella, and the aim is to get like a novel. Now, that's fine and good and everything, but what I found after my first attempt, which I cleared with ease, is that basically the 50,000 aren't necessarily going to be workable numbers towards your actual finished draft. So those 50,000, the 50,000 plus of that first project, I'll show you right here, was the first 2 to 3 chapters in this draft of this, and this. They're all the same working project. Like, so majority of the time, anything that I've tried to do for a challenge, whether it's Camp Nano or for the regular Nano, it's essentially been the same one. And I thought I was gonna be able to stick with a brand new idea this year, but that didn't work out. I mean, not exclusively, which is getting back to the point of what Project Relay is supposed to be. Essentially, a relay is like a run that you have to do with team members where at every given distance you'll have somebody waiting to grab the I forgot the word of the thing, but yeah, to grab the baton and then pass it on to the next person in front. And then of course, naturally, if your last runner crosses first, then I would assume that helps towards your cumulative time to win the race. I'm actually not sure how that's measured competitively outside of the last person making it first place. I always thought that's how it worked, but I never even made it to my official meet in elementary school because I had a nosebleed that morning and they wouldn't let me go. Anyway, getting distracted. Project Relay is essentially 50,000 words across several works in progress, new and old, that hopefully it means that I can split time evenly between whichever projects I decide to do, and if I hit 50K, then I would consider that a job well done. This way, I can at least learn within 30 days how to start managing multiple projects at a time while I am working, and doing chores, and depending on if it happens anytime sooner rather than later, getting a new dog in the family, which is going to be our first dog. So there's going to be a lot of time put into that, lots of time and resources put into that. So, and then of course there's also the channel itself. There's games that I still have to play that's been waiting on my wait list. There's new games coming out soon that's just going to make the wait list even worse, and naturally I have a massive backlog of videos to edit just to upload. So if you've been wondering why there hasn't really been anything, it's mainly because I haven't found the time. And hopefully by doing this challenge, I would be able to you know, find a way to improve my overall project management for basically anything in my life. That way I can make more room for doing videos, more room for any other projects really too, like, because and god, I haven't even been able to read much of anything. I've been trying to reread, and I finished my first book in like months, if not a whole year, and I couldn't even try to reread the first 3 Stormlight Archive books before Rhythm of War comes out the day before my birthday. So, and damn good thing, unfortunately, it's mixed feeling. Cyberpunk 2077. I'm still kind of bummed that nearly 2 weeks time off that I've got from my birthday onwards is not going to be spent playing Cyberpunk 2077, and I can't even move those dates anymore because somebody else already got that time, and distracted again. Anyway, Project Relay. Let's go ahead and actually, can I edit this? Can I just change it to drafted, save changes? That way it doesn't look like it's the actual project that I'm working on. Let's announce the new project. Let's go. It's Project Relay 2020, because who knows, if it works out, I'm gonna do it again next year. Yeah, prepping it, and yeah, I'll leave it I'm gonna put it other because it's multiple projects all at once. I'm gonna keep it strictly to writing projects so that I don't get too overwhelmed. Plus, it's kind of hard to quantify 50,000 words with regards to other things like games or drawing. Like, if it was just drawing, I might have argued that, okay, average time for me to get 1,667 words a day, I would allocate that to drawing time as well. Or just successfully switching between projects at a reasonable amount of time. Yeah, I came up with this like 2 days before November 1st, so it would have been nice if I had like neat little guidelines to provide and offer if this was something you'd be interested in doing too. Hopefully by November 30, I might have an idea of what can be improved. Okay, cool. All right, on to your goal. So, some information cannot be edited, so it has to be 50,000 words. Interesting. You would think that this would actually be editable because some people actually do want to overextend over 50,000 words for this challenge. Like, the more they become more open to the variations in how you do it, I thought it would be an option. Anyway, let's see. It is, I'm just gonna dump this under, I can do more than one, right? Yeah. I'm gonna include that too somewhere. And one more thing. I think that's it. All right, so let me just get this one out of the way. Okay, we are back. Oh, I'll just save the project here and then update just so I can cheat the system because metagaming is great. One words where at home. What were you writing? I'm gonna argue by hand because technically I do have an outline ready and I'm gonna estimate that as approximately 50 words instead. I'm not gonna put time. Okay, and that means we get to go back to the profile and get first day update. Update writing progress. Yeah. I don't live in America and we don't have a voting season upon us yet. Arguably. I'm kind of doing this right now. Okay. All right. So we are going to view this one. Okay, here we are. So Project Relay 2020. So this is what it is. Project Relay is a unique spin on the traditional NaNoWriMo challenge where 50,000 words is split across a number of projects for 30 days. The goal of this challenge is to learn how to manage projects around day-to-day responsibilities with a hope that it can improve time management around projects and bring long-stalled works in progress and new ideas closer to a finished state. I will edit this later for grammar. The rules of this first attempt are not firmly established, but will be revised as the days go by this November. The aim is to collect the cumulative word count of 50,000 across a set number of projects. The projects can be in various states of progress, from new idea to final draft revision or edit. The number of projects to be worked on simultaneously should vary depending on the writer's level. Out of fairness, one project can be dropped, but it means increasing the daily word count requirements for remaining projects to maintain a 50,000 word goal. So if I had planned this properly, I would actually have a set word count for each project that I decide to take on for this month. Clearly that didn't happen. This challenge is intended to mimic real-world expectations of professional writing or emulate the conditions of writing year-round while working a full-time job along with other day-to-day responsibilities, or if you're a student and you're going to classes. So, here is the lineup. So, Lightbringer 1, a long-standing presence in my Nano career, we return to this old work and project to continue where we left off with Knight and her friends, with their harrowing adventures through Paradise's past. The goal here is that it's just to continue progress, because it has stalled for almost a year. Yeah, for almost a year now. So, I actually don't know if the version that I had been working on last year is the same version that I'm working on right now. But what I do know is that I have no longer made any changes to the existing outline, and that I've really just been trying to add in scenes that I had planned based on that outline, because right now it's got really solid footing and I don't feel like I need to change anything until I'm starting to do my revision progress. So really it's just I need to write and not stop until I actually get it done. I don't expect it to be fully completed by the end of this month, especially since I'm multitasking. So and even if I wasn't multitasking, it would be pretty hard to get it done. So I just want to get as much done with it as possible so that's not stuck where it is right now. Because it's frustrating that so far with my works in progress, especially on Lightbringer, it seems to get stuck in the first part. I do my stories in usually 4 parts that instead of the traditional 3. And it's not that I get stuck at the beginning and not know where to go. I know where it needs to go. It's just that getting it from point A to point B is kind of hard to handle because I get distracted or I get lost along the way, or I'm finding issues with what I'm trying to do to get it from point A to B. So hopefully, not hopefully, because I know this current outline, it's really workable, and I've gone so far as to just completely plot it all out in my head, scene by scene, near almost, with my Apple Music playlists. Like, I have songs set to specific moments in those sections. Like, I know what's exactly going to happen. It's just that I haven't put words into it yet. So that's another thing that I need to do. It's like, stop thinking about it, just go ahead and do it, right? Okay. Second project is RBN Beyond Redemption 1, fan fiction. I think the title of this is The Death of Jason Todd on AO3. If you guys read that, that would be great. I should probably link it here just so people know to find it and vice versa. Anyway, so a Jason Todd centric fan fiction featuring themes of recovery, found family, and redemption. Posted on AO3. Only one of 6 chapters has been posted. Yes, because I did plan for this to be a 6 chapter story in like 3 parts, where we have Death of Jason Todd, and then the what did I name the second one? Rebirth of Red Hood or something like that. Yeah, so it's like in 3 parts. You've got his downward spiral, then his turn, and then his rise. And I had a set idea of what exactly was going to happen, and I was going to do it in a limited capacity because I knew that if I didn't put a limit on it, then I was just not going to come anywhere near finishing it at all whatsoever. And really, I just wanted to be able to work on more fan fictions in general because I did grow up with that idea that fan fiction was a stigma and that it wasn't considered real writing, and I'd rather be spending my time working on my original fiction. But at the end of the day, fan fiction actually helps with building a better writing ethic, because when you've got people who follow you and are reading word, like, and hanging on to every word and waiting for the next chapter upload, the motivation to keep going is already there. It's like, you don't want the imposter syndrome to freeze you up and then cause you to fail. You don't want to disappoint. At the end of the day, it convinces you that there's an audience there for your story. So kudos to you guys who've been sticking with it through the years. But here's, like, this is just me wanting to explore ideas through fan fiction and improving my writing. And hopefully, maybe someone from DC Comics can see it and hire me as a writer. I guess, I don't know. That's just fantasy. Yeah. Anyway, the goal is that by the 30, chapter 6 should be uploaded and the story more complete, and then hopefully I would have time to, or rather, just I would be able to start outlining the next one, which is great. Okay, and now this one is the new project and what I thought was gonna be my sole Nano 2020 project, which is a timely family affair starring Jenna, the youngest member of the Silverstone family, discovering her true origins as she navigates the magic-infested streets of Regency era London and the appearance of her time-traveling brothers, twins of two worlds, claiming her life is in terrible danger. And the worst she thought of her troubles was being introduced to society as an eligible woman for marriage. Okay, so this one was just an idea that's been coming back around over and over again as I thought more and more about this story. I have this original character from way, way, way long ago. In fact, like, he was one of the ones that was originally conceived and then started showing up in some old fan fiction before I, did a thing I mentioned of just dropping fan fiction and just developing the original ideas on their own. Um, so um Idealizing what I thought was an original idea of having multiple works that were interconnected in a single universe or multiverse. Apparently there's been a lot of that over the years, over the decades, really. And that in writing, I find that in the Cosmere, and before that, the Discworld books too. But I wanted to have that one iconic character who would be recognizable across all of these stories where he might appear. So in the same vein, you've got Hoyd in the Cosmere books. Um, yeah, so he, being a time traveler and immortal, would notoriously also have several children scattered across the eras, across the galaxy too. And I think I've decided to maintain it within the galaxy because I wasn't ready yet and don't know if I am right now to kind of expand beyond that into like just space in general. Um, but yeah, so Jenna was one of the interesting ones where like her life was very centered on her period, but then she kind of just ends up getting scooped up by her family and is one of the few to actually be part of the children who do get to time travel with the Traveler, which is the name of the or rather the title that her father is known as. And the status of the family has like evolved over time from when it was originally conceived, like and I just really wanted to like really explore this one because it really gets to get into these characters and whatnot, and also just into my world building in general. So hopefully for this one the goal is just um refine an outline because I started writing about this one when I decided that this should be something I should do this month, but I don't know if I got too far in it. So outline and fast draft. And if for those who don't know, fast drafts are basically like a quick version of your draft of point A, B, C, like basically from start to finish what's going to happen in your story. So that could be in the form of plot points or bullet points. And in my case, it's essentially the same thing as an outline because there is your basic outline of the introduction to complication and the resolution. And but what I like to do is I like to use the 7 point plot structure, and that kind of becomes like the prototype for the fast draft. The fast draft is essentially taking that and expanding upon it, so that it's something that I can work off of. That is the one that I had done for Lightbringer 1, right? And what I was working on before I ended up stalling on the project too. So that's why I know for a fact that the outline for this one isn't gonna change because it was the one that I fast draft with to a satisfactory result, and that's what I'm hoping to do for this one too. So over the next 29 days, because it's now midnight, 6 minutes past midnight, I am going to be going across these three. And naturally, as I mentioned here, if it just happens that I decide, okay, it's not working out, and I recognize which projects I want to work on more, I will drop one and then adjust accordingly. Or in the case of this one, if I actually end up finishing it before the other two, before my day 30 timeline, my goal, then naturally that means I take this off, I don't add another one, and I start increasing the counts on these three. And there might be precedent to adding one if you ended up finishing something. It's just the reason why I don't think I would recommend that is if you want to add one, you might as well have put it there in the beginning instead of adding it while you're in the middle of it all, because it just means that clearly you wanted to prioritize it but you didn't think you needed to. And for any given reason, if you're doing this and you're thinking that you need to emulate real world circumstances, like if you wanted to be a professional writer or if you're just writing year round and you're fighting off wanting to explore a new idea, I'm always a proponent of go ahead and do it, explore that new idea, because as much as you want to keep working on a current project, if your brain is telling you to look at something else, you should look on at something else, especially if it's because you're recognizing that the reason why you're stalled on a project is because you're stuck. Like, call it writer's block or just you not being able to problem solve your way out of it. Move on to something else, let your brain reset, focus on the new problem, and then once you're done and you're satisfied with that, you might be able to come back and fix what you couldn't fix. So in this case, if one of these projects falls off, I take it out. I don't add a new one. But if it becomes more beneficial, I will add one. But I think within the 30 days, maybe for what I think I need right now, like I don't know if I'm making any sense anymore, but what I think I need right now is I shouldn't add a new one to this challenge at all because um I knew this work was going to be more than 50,000 words. So when I started reorienting my brain around what it should represent for me, that it's not just a 50,000 words, it should be completed. I think that's where it started to get really daunting trying to actually get it done for NaNoWriMo. So I think that's the reason why it hasn't really been as successful as my first attempt, where I was more focused on getting the 50,000 and not so much as on finishing it. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, and like I said, the stuff that I just prattled on about adding a project or not, if one of them fell through, it's guides, less so rules. I'll fix that when it needs to be fixed, and I'll adjust it, and then hopefully it's in a condition that can be attempted by some of you. And like I mentioned at the start of this, I don't know if it's been attempted before. When I posted in my Facebook group about it, someone did mention that they did something similar, or someone has done something similar. I don't know. I don't remember. I should double check it just to see for reference. But yeah, this is my plan. This is what I'm gonna do. This has been day 1 of NaNoWriMo 2020, and wish me good luck, guys.